What's up, Infected, and welcome to the Kwarenteen. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a small game by the name of Dice of Crowns from Thing 12 Games. Dice of Crowns is a dice rolling game where the king has died and now the court is arguing and fighting over who is going to take over the crown. And you're stabbing each other in the back and trying to make little alliances with each other, and overall whoever gets 3 or 5 coins, depending on the mode you're playing, winds up claiming the crown and becoming the victor. And there's several different modules that you can add to the base game in order to, kind of tailor the game to your liking. And that's basically Dice of Crowns, so let's just go to the overview. On a player's turn, the player is going to roll these 7 dice and then go ahead and resolve them. So you have these daggers, which if you ever receive 3 daggers, your turn is immediately over. Crowns you would claim. If you ever get 3 crowns, you just claim a coin. Scrolls are given to other players and can be used as leverage, maybe to try to form some kind of alliance. And then skulls, if you get enough of them, can also be transformed into coins. After the player has rolled all their dice, if they don't have 3 swords, they will then get to roll either all of one symbol or all of their extra dice that are not crowns or swords. Keeping in mind, anytime you roll a scroll, it has to be given to another player for them to roll and decide what happens with that die. And if you're playing the base game, once you get 3 coins, you claim the crown and victory is yours. However, the game also includes several modules you can add to the advanced game to make the game a little bit more interesting. The first one being, instead of 3 coins, it will take 5 coins to claim the crown. Another module adds a little bit more usefulness to the skulls. If a player were to roll 3 or they roll 6 skulls, they would get to claim 1 or 2 of these fate tokens, which can be spent to re-roll yours or somebody else's dice, depending. You may also roll 3 skulls and 3 crowns to then gain 1 of each. You could add the legendary rolls, which means if you roll 7 of anything, which doesn't happen very often, really good or really devastating things could happen. Such as 7 of the daggers triggers the Crimson Feast, which you would then lose 1 of your coins and pass the dice on. So your turn still immediately ends, but you also lose 1 of your coins. Or 7 skulls, which allows you to choose whether you want Twists of Fate and steal a coin from a rival, or whether or not you will decide to be immune from all daggers until you get to roll again. Another module may be that if you ever roll more than your 3 daggers, you get to decide who the extra daggers go to, keeping in mind what happens if you roll 7 daggers. And lastly, you have the Last Stand mode, where the player who claims the crown has to keep it for an entire round, allowing it to be stolen at pretty much any time. Alright, Dice of Crowns. Well, there's not a lot to say about Dice of Crowns, really. I mean, it's a good game. When this was sent to me, and I pulled it out and saw it was just this big, I was kind of surprised that something this big that fits in basically a glorified Altoids box is such a fun little game. I mean, yeah, there's lots of luck involved. You're rolling dice. It's called Dice of Crowns, so if you didn't catch that already, that's kind of your fault. There's a lot of luck involved, but it's a good, fun little game. It plays in like 5-10 minutes. You're just rolling dice, and then that's just the base game, and then you can add in these modules to make the game more complex or less complex. And I recommend just play the advanced game, like play the base game once just so you get the rules, and then play the advanced game with all of the modules except for one, which brings me to my one big gripe with the game. Is the betrayal one, or whatever it's called, where you have to hold on to the crown for an entire round and it can be stolen. Or if you get 3 daggers, then you have to wait an entire round again, and it drags the game out really far. Everybody who played this really enjoyed it. They loved it until that final little bit where it drags on way too long, and you're like, well, I got the crown. Okay, now everybody guns for you. Everybody always just gives you daggers. Okay, well, I just don't get to do anything, and you just gotta hope that nobody rolls daggers. And it really brings the game down from here. It brings it all the way down here. So if you just don't use that module, but use all of the other ones, the game is phenomenal. For such a small, little, light dice chucker, I highly recommend it. You know, again, there's gonna be a lot of luck involved. When you use the fate tokens, it allows you to re-roll, but it's still a lot of luck. You gotta kind of expect that. It's called Dice of Crowns. So anyways, I definitely recommend Dice of Crowns. Pick it up, and if you like the video, I'll see you guys next time in the Quarantine.